All right. Thanks, Alex Franklin. Thank you so much for helping me out with this. I need to interview you for about probably 15 minutes or so, if that long. And it's about what you do in your day-to-day life and about how I could possibly find my way into either partially your field or somewhat more involved in your field as a whole in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and ask you questions if I can.
Sounds good.
All right. So my first question is, I've talked to you over a couple of emails, and I never have a straight idea of what exactly your job is. I know you own your own business and you do a lot of stuff with that, but what would you say your job is?
Right. So I'm a business partner. That means I have 50% ownership in my business. My half of the business is more the business side of things. I make sure that the money is coming in and it's marked down as it does that. It's going out to the right places. It's marked down as it does that. And I have the final say over what expenditures my company makes and what investment routes we take.
All right. That's good. So how did you become part of this team? How did you get into this business?
Well, the important thing was making connections in college. I made one friend actually my first year in college who didn't go on to spend 4 years there and graduate, but actually, after the first year, he went out and started getting life experience. And that meshed with what I had really well because when I got out of college with my knowledge of working the business side of things, he already had all the skills necessary to start doing the actual job that comes with running a business. He was able to perform the service that we offered.
All right. That's good. And so what would you say was the hardest part of owning your business?
Really, just taking that first step and getting it started. The two big things you have to have are capital and initiative, and they're both equally hard to come by for starting out.
Yeah. All right. So was there anything particular you did to I know initiative you have to self-start and stuff, but how did you handle the capital aspect?
Well, out of college, I just moved in with my future business partner of the time, and I got a job, and he had a job, and we were living just as cheaply as we could to save together every penny we could until we had enough money to go ahead and get out on the road.
All right. Um, so were you surprised that this is what you know, not quite fell into, but this is what you chose to do?
Not really surprised. I always said in college that I didn't know exactly what I was going to do or that I didn't know at all what I was going to do. But as I went through college, I started to build a little bit of a plan, and starting that business was the plan that I was kind of working with as I went through the later years of college.
All right. Is there anything about it you would have done differently?
Hmm. It'd be hard to say I'd do anything differently because it's turned out really well so far. So all's well that ends well, right?
All right. I can definitely agree with that one. So going into this job, what inspired you to either get into it or to just keep doing it? What about it do you love?
Well, really, I don't think it's just me. I think it's our entire generation. As we grew up, we were told we could do anything, and were told that whatever we wanted to do, we should just reach out and go do it. So that sort of engendered a entrepreneurial spirit in a lot of our generation. So I'd say that would be the driving factor.
All right. So what was the hardest part of the entirety of what you did? Or I
Well,
should say what you do as part of your job.
so hardest part of the day to day or having got it started?
The day to day.
Well, my side of things, I have pretty well under wraps. I'm good with the computer I'm good with the budgeting and talking to the tax people, having meetings. The hardest part for me is when I have to step over and help out my partner with his side of the business and hands dirty do the construction contracting side of things.
Gotcha. So what's the best part of your job?
The same thing, really. Just because it's the hardest doesn't mean it's not good, and it's really good to see that I can not only hold up my side of things, but really be there to support my partner when he needs it. And when I get to take a hammer to a house, that's a big upside.
All right. So the business is remodeling trailers and just pretty much rebuilding from the bare bones, right?
Right.
So when you do that, is there, because I know you handle the more of the finances part, but just is doing that whole process, does that kind of give you like a sense of fulfillment?
Yeah, I could say it definitely does. It's great to see it go from the wreck it is when we start to the finished product that's ready for someone to move in. And it's really great to, on my side of things, see the business relationship go from just budding to giving that finished product to our customers and having that big paycheck at the end of the job.
Gotta love the money. So looking at yourself and how far you've come, is there anything that you would go back and tell yourself when you graduated?
It's hard to say that there's no real lesson that I could easily pass on to myself from a few years ago. But when you do take that first step, everything just starts to fall into place. The business world, Kentucky One Stop, it's all really set up for someone who wants to be able to step into that role. So I guess that would be the only advice I could give myself, that it's not that hard after you take that first step.
All right. And you would just say that to make sure, like to kind of give yourself a boost up, because it's hard, isn't it, to scrimp and save and to do everything you can just to start your business.
Oh yeah, I definitely used my budgeting skills a lot more before starting the business than I have since I started it.
All right. And is there any advice you would give me as a potential future business owner?
Really the same thing. Learn what you can about the business world while you're in college, but as soon as you're out, just go after it and you'll get what you want.
All right. And do you have any questions for me?
Not a one.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I will get back in touch with you about what you said you were going to be in town coming back for graduation. So maybe we can meet up and I will get to talk to you in person.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Have a good one.
Thanks.
I've still got a recording dot.